Hey guys, welcome to Watch with Poppy. In this episode, we're going to be talking about this week's episode of Homeland. So as the episode opens, we are continuing on from last week. So Carrie has escaped from Abu Nazir, but she's inside of this broken down factory or whatever it was, trying to find him because she's Carrie. And even though they told her, don't go back by yourself, of course she went back by herself because that's what she does. And that brings me to my number one question of this episode. How is it that Carrie is still employed by the Central Intelligence Agency? This woman is like always on the verge of being obsessed. And she has such like tunnel vision that it's like when she's got something in her sights, she doesn't care what people say. So how many times in this show has it been like she's been given an order like don't go in there or don't do that, and she does it anyway, and they continue to let her do it, and it just amazes me really. So of course she goes back to the factory, she can't find Abu Nazir, and then everyone shows up, you know, here comes the CIA, the FBI, and everybody, and there's the manhunt on now. I was really surprised that she lied, right? So Carrie covers for Brody and just tells them, well, I escaped. Okay? And I'm thinking to myself, like, do we trust Brody? I mean, like, I know that Carrie's kind of like in love with Brody, and again, with the obsessive thing, when she's kind of into someone, tunnel vision, and common sense has just flown out the window, basically. So she lies and covers for him, and I'm sorry, but I do not trust Brody at all. I don't trust him. In fact, I'm not going to be surprised next week if we don't find out that Brody is like the new Abu Nazir, because I just don't trust him. I think that he is a messed up kind of guy. And do I think that he loves Carrie? I do. And I think she loves him in a twisted kind of way. But that doesn't mean that I trust him because I don't trust him. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I don't trust him. It's because of something that Abu Nazir said in last week's episode. And I'm going to read it so that I don't mess it up. So, Carrie and Abu Nazir are talking, and she's tied up, to the pipe, and they're talking about terrorism or whatever. It's like fireside chats with Carrie and a terrorist. Okay, and he says to her, sometimes when you're breaking a man, an emotional transfer takes place. With Nicholas, it was quite powerful. Come on, people, that to me is foreshadowing. And I just feel like, I don't know, like maybe this has been a part of the plan all the time. If you get caught, then this is what we're going to do, and la la la. And I'm not going to be surprised, like I said, if next week we find out that Abu Nazir it might be gone, but really it's Nicholas that's been in charge this whole time. Really, Brody's the head honcho, the head terrorist. So I don't trust him, and I'm not really sure why she is trusting him. So that freaks me out. That scares me a little bit for her. Now, of course, the answer to my original question of why Carrie still has a job is because she is the one who figures out that Abu Nazir is still at this factory, that he's hidden somewhere. And the fact that that he could hide inside of there and no one found him the first 5 times that they searched it, just scares me a little bit about national security. So thank goodness that this is just a television show. Then, of course, the huge thing happens, one of the huge things in this episode is that Abu Nazir gets killed, like he's there and he's captured and you kind of know he's not gonna go, he's not gonna go alive. And so he reaches in his pocket and they shoot him and kill him. And this is one of the reasons that I really love Homeland, because they are not afraid to go there. Like they could have dragged out the Abu Nazir storyline for another season at least, but they didn't do that. And there are quite a few other shows that are on the air right now that could learn a thing or two from Homeland in that respect. Yeah, hello, Red John on The Mentalist, I'm talking to you. Hello, overplayed storyline. I love Homeland because you just never know what's gonna happen. So a few other things from the episode. Let's talk about Saul. So of course we know that Saul is like being held at the CIA because David's basically trying to cover his tracks. Yeah, I just feel like with Saul, I wouldn't count Saul out. I just feel like Saul is this like wise and like, federal agent who's been around a long time, and I just feel like he's the kind of guy who's got an escape plan. He's the kind of guy who's got something up his sleeve. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the season, Saul is the head of the CIA. I would not be surprised by that at all. Let's talk about one of my favorite people from Homeland. That is Dana. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't remember what it was like to be a teenager, and it's definitely one of those times in life where you're trying to figure out what's going on. And Dana's family's, like, insane. I mean, her dad's a terrorist, even though they don't know that. Her parents are all over the place. I mean, her life is a wreck. She killed somebody this season. You know, she was, you know, in the car when the vice president's son ran over that lady, so she's got all this guilt going on. But this child is the most annoying person on television. I mean, like, whenever she comes on the screen, I want to throw pillows at her because she's just annoying. And it's not the actress. Like, I think the girl who plays her does a fine job. And I even get why Dana is why she is, because her life is a mess. You know, like, her family's a mess. And she's frustrated, but there's just something about her, like, sighing and the look she has in her face. I just can't stand it. It just drives me absolutely insane. And the way she talks to her parents, she like curses at them, and her whole freak out about the milk, which obviously is not just about the milk, it's about everything that's going on. But I just, yeah, it's just a bit too much for me. And on a side note, I just want to mention that if I talked to my parents the way Dana did when I was her age, my mother would have killed me. Okay, so let's talk about Brody's wife, Jessica. So there was a couple of great scenes between the two of them in this episode. The first scene I want to talk about is when they're still in the safe house and Brody gets a call on his cell phone and he answers it. You know, he and Jessica are having this, like, we're going to have the talk, and then his phone rings and he takes the phone out to the balcony and closes the sliding door, right? And there's Jessica, and she's watching him from inside while he's outside talking to Carrie on the phone. And she's got this look on his face where she's looking at him like, I know that you are talking to that woman. I know you are. And all I kept thinking was, do we not remember just like last episode when you slept with your husband's best friend in the safe house with your kids in the room next door? Do we not remember that? Because I remember that. And I just was amazed by that. Her whole, like, I just felt like she was looking a little too self-righteous because it was like, hey, woman, you're cheating on him. He's cheating on you. You both are wrong, basically. On that note, I will say one of the best scenes of the episode was the scene between Jessica and Brody in the car when they get home. It's like as soon as Jessica gets in the car, you know they are finally gonna have this talk. And the real truth is that Jessica and Brody have been needing to have this talk basically since he got home from Afghanistan in season 1. It was just a well done scene, really well written, well acted, very heartbreaking, and just sad and just so true, you know? It was a great scene. Best part of that episode, I think. So those are my thoughts on that episode, you guys. Can't wait for the season finale next week. I'm sad and excited, but sad because then there won't be any episodes for a really long time after that. But really excited because I think big things are going to happen on Sunday, so we shall see. And I shall be back next week to tell you what I think about what happens then. Hey, thanks so much for checking out this episode of Watch with Poppy. I do all kinds of reviews on lots of different TV shows, movies, and all kinds of other pop culture goodies. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Bye. Also, don't forget to subscribe so then you can get my goodies in your inbox. Oh, that didn't come out right. That didn't come out right at all. Oh, my goodies will not be in your inbox, people. They will not be. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.